Hair Care USA. So I hope everybody's having an amazing day. And yes, I have on my beanie today. Why? Because I went out yesterday and my hair got wet. So I'll have to do my hair again this week, which I think I'm going to switch up my style a little bit this week and give myself a side piece unit. Anyway, this story time is going to be all about how I opened my own salon with less than $10,000 and how I actually stopped doing hair before I even did that. Oh Lord, let me turn that down because you know how YouTube does. So first things first, if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and please thumbs up this live as you come in. Yes, I am recording this live. So if the quality goes in and out here and there, that's because this is a car chronicle. I'm driving and that's just how internet and airwaves and supersonic somebody works. Okay. So let's get started. A lot of you don't know that. Well, most of you do know. If you've been following me a while, I'm 34 years old. I have been doing hair since I graduated high school. I graduated high school at the age of 17, so that means that I've been doing hair close to 16 years. Why? Because when I got out of high school, I went straight into cosmetology school on a scholarship. And then I got my license after that. And I was doing hair even before cosmetology school, but legitimately, I've been doing hair for about 16 years. Illegitimately, I've been doing hair for probably about 20 years. I'll say about 20 years, 21 years. Anyhow, when I got out of cosmetology school, honestly, I knew that I would never work for anybody. I am a very stubborn person. I'm a true Cancer. I am a very hard shell. I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like to be talked to a certain kind of way. Why? Because I'm very sensitive and I assume that everything that you say to me is geared towards me. You got to know yourself, be able to tell people about yourself. And when I did have a job, my corporate job, I was paid very well. But every year I thought that I needed to get a $3 raise because listen, I am in the business to make money and I knew that I was worth a certain dollar amount. I don't see anything wrong with that. Anyhow, I was working for a company by the name of Acorn Stairlifts. I had been with them when they were actually a smaller company and they grew to a larger company and they were making about $1 million a week. And I'm like, okay, you're making about $1 million a week, but you're only paying me like $14 an hour. So every year I go and say, hey, it's raise time. I don't wait on you to give me a raise, but I knew that at a certain point they capped me out. And then I also noticed that anytime a higher level position would come and I wanted that higher level position, you wouldn't give me the higher level position, but you'd allow me to train the person that's going to be my manager. So I always looked at it like, the hell is going on here? I knew that this was not for me. I knew that working for someone was not my destiny. I knew that I eventually was going to have to be my own business owner because I knew that I was not going to work for anybody and they couldn't pay me enough to work for them. Anyhow, after I got my cosmetology license, I set out to become a stylist and it didn't work out 100%. My journey as a stylist has always been very rocky. I'm also a very timid person. So those stylists who are very aggressive and they'll see you in the store and they hand you their business card, I'm not one of those stylists, okay? I'm the type of stylist where I just want you to be referred to me. I can't walk, yeah, my tongue is blue. I can't approach you and say, hey girl, you just want to give you my business. I'm not one of those people. A lot of you think that I'm so outgoing, not knowing that I'm really an introvert. I'm a very shy person. I don't like people. That's why I can talk to YouTube all day. I've trained myself to be able to speak in a crowd. Okay, now I know how to control a room with no problem. But to walk up to a person, like literally, and say, here's my card, I felt like it was offensive because the first thing I would say is, so you trying to say something wrong with my head? That was me. So I was always in and out of being a hairstylist. I was never true to my gift. When I say true to my gift, I was always one of those people where I would go into hair and then get out of here, but I always made sure that I had a 9 to 5. I'm not an optimist. I need to know how much money I'm gonna make right now. not what I'm going to make in a year. So it was very complicated for me to really transition into being a stylist. A lot of stylists won't tell you that. They try to tell you that they woke up today and it was ordained and they became a stylist and have been successful ever since, and that is a lie. Okay? But me being Crystal, I'm a bold person. I tell the truth. Okay? I always knew that can't tell you seem so friendly and straight out person. I'm learning to be nicer. I'm learning to be nicer, but I'll get to that in just a moment. Another reason why I found myself very timid to people, because I have this thing called a resting bitch face. And right now I'm happy, by the way. That is my face on a normal day. So I knew this face right here was not destined to walk up to people and talk to them. Because if you catch me on a regular day, that's how I look. And it's not that I'm upset. It's not that I'm angry. It's not that I'm sad. It's just my face. You ever heard your parents say, you better stop looking like that all the time. Your face gonna stay like that. Your face will stay like that. You better stop looking like that all the time. That was me. True story. Teach your kids to smile more. Because now my older daughter has the same face. And now I have to teach her to smile more. Right? Anyway. I wasn't one of those people where I would approach people. I wasn't an outgoing person. I knew what I knew. I love to help people. I like to laugh and I like to talk. But my face would easily deter someone and think that, bitch, don't speak to me. And sometimes I do feel like that, like, please don't have no small talk with me. I don't want to talk. Right? Okay. Anyhow, once I got really into my cosmetology life, I ended up getting laid off. I wouldn't go deep into hair until I knew that I had some sort of income on the backside. So true story, I ended up getting laid off, and that's when I was okay with doing hair full time because I still had my unemployment to live off of. See, a lot of people not gonna tell you that. Right. But I had a little bit of $275 a week because I'm in Florida, and Florida is cheap. $275 a week, and I knew that at least I had my rent paid. I would be okay. Okay? That gave me the opportunity to be able to start to build my clientele so that when that money ran out, I'd be able to, follow the masses. Oh, you build your clientele for 3 months and you're good. Lies. But that's what they said, So I was building my clientele for a year and a half to the point where unemployment ran out. And I still hadn't really built a steady clientele that I could live off of, right? So, guys, mind you, this is when my daughters were like 1 and 2. My daughters were 1 and 2 at this point. I was in a salon. I was struggling to pay my booth rent. Okay? I was struggling to pay my booth rent. Some weeks I had to tell the owner, like, listen, can I pay you next week? Because my daughter's daycare alone, even with assistance, my daughter's daycare was not cheap. Daycare is like rent. Okay? So even with government assistance of daycare, I still couldn't make it. So anyhow, there's a fly in here. I'm about to spray him with our sanitizer. I'm sorry. Anyhow, I ended up having to leave that salon. And when I left that salon, I went home to do hair for a while. People don't know that when you do hair at home, the level of respect that you're given versus when you are in a brick and mortar is very small. They don't want to pay. And I see a lot of people do this where they're going to go home and do hair and they think that this is going to build their career, not knowing that you can't build your career off of home clients. A lot of home clients, number one, they don't want to pay salon price. So when you have to increase that price to make sure you can cover that booth rent, they're already going to stray. Number two, they don't want to be in a salon. They want to be able to have access to you. They feel like they need to have access to you. And that's typically how it goes. So for me, I I got into doing hair at home because I wanted to be able to pay for my home, number one, support myself, number two, and still be able to go and get my kids. I had to be able to do that, okay? So I had my legitimate reasons, but I still couldn't build a clientele. My clientele still wasn't the way that it should have been. I felt like I worked a lot harder trying to build clientele at home because I had to be so transparent with people. And some people, when you tell them that they're coming to your house, I don't want you to do my relaxer. I don't care if you got a license or not. You know what I mean? So you lose a lot. And at the same time, you think you're gaining and you're not. So once I finally figured out that working at home was not going to be the thing, because I didn't have a personal life either. Hair was everywhere. I felt like everybody was in my house. People are judging you coming in your house, okay? I made sure that my house was clean, but everybody's house clean is not going to be the same, okay? So they might come in and see a pot on the stove and I'm cooking, and here you go. Oh, girl, what you cooking? None of your business. You in the salon. The salon's over here. My kitchen's over there. Why are you in my kitchen? That's my personal life. That's my personal life. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out, okay? The last straw for me was one day I'm in the house and I had a den, okay? I had a den that was my salon. I had a shampoo bowl put in, everything. I'm in the den doing my client's blowout, and all of a sudden the power goes out. Boom! In my mind, I'm like, wait, not this month. I know I paid the light bill this month. I know for a fact, because I'm one of those people, okay? Rent is probably the biggest thing for me. Light bill is the last thing my business about. I've always been like that. I'm getting better. But at that time, that was the last thing on my mind. So I'm like, wait a second. I know for a fact that I paid my light bill. So why is the power out at 5 o'clock in the afternoon or evening? They don't disconnect you at 5 in the evening. They're going to disconnect. Mind you, I know this now. If they're going to disconnect you, they're going to disconnect you in the morning. And then you got to pay it in between so they can come and reconnect you before 8. So I knew that they hadn't cut my power off. I called my boyfriend, which is my son's father at the time. And I'm like, babe, the power went out, babe. I'm about to go outside to see what's going on. My client's in the house. I go outside and I see and I look up and I notice that the transformer blew up. But I see a little wire coming from the transformer. So I call him again. I'm like, you got to get over here. I think somebody's stealing my power. To only find out my neighbor was trying to steal power from me, and you blew up the transformer trying to connect to my power. So literally, my client's sitting in the dark. My neighbor's stealing my power. I'm at home. It's the evening hours. I don't have no electricity to finish her hair. I had to leave my house and drive to her house to do her hair. Do you know how embarrassing that was? And that was literally the last straw for me. After my boyfriend damn near killed my neighbor because he chucked him into the tree when he was so pissed off. He literally came, grabbed him by the neck, and chucked him into a tree because he was stealing my power the entire time. He was stealing electricity the entire time. Me not paying attention to the fact that my light bill be $300 because I'm thinking, because I'm doing hair, it's okay that my light bill's so high. Struggling at the same time. Okay. That was the last straw. Literally, that was the last straw. I was 4 months pregnant. Okay. I'm living in a house where the neighbor's stealing my electricity and I didn't even know. My clients are coming and the power's getting cut off because Rasta man next door decided he want to steal power and didn't know what he was doing and blew up a transformer. I was like, no, this is it. I can't do this. I can't do this. I gotta become more in a professional setting. So I decided to go to this place called Hair Action, it was one of the first salon suites in the city of Orlando. It's a black-owned salon suite, and it was right up the street from my house. So it worked out. It worked out for me to be able to go there. And I went there and I started to build my clientele, but I noticed that I still wasn't happy. You know, like I'm one of those people, I like poshy stuff. I like what I like. I like my clients to walk into an environment and you don't hear, girl, did you see the side of his penis last night? Girl, and this is the conversation trickling down the hall. Mind you, I'm trying to attract clients that will pay my price and don't question it. And people don't know location is everything, and you'll set yourself in a place where you will basically deter and demean your own pocket. So, from there, I knew that I was destined to open a salon. I knew that I wanted to open a salon, but I didn't really have the confidence yet to open a salon. At that point in life, a lot was happening, and I ended up falling into a very slight depression. And I walked away from doing hair overnight. After that salon, I literally gave away my stuff, except for my tools. I gave away my furniture. I gave away all of that and said, I'm done doing hair. And I walked away from doing hair for about 4 months. I purged out every client I had. Why? Because my clients, number one, didn't respect me. My clients didn't have any ethics for me. I didn't have any ethics for my own business. I didn't even have a standard for my business. I was working till 10 o'clock at night. My kids are not eating dinner until 10:30 to be rushed to get a bath and go to bed by 11. These are children, mind you. They're in private school, okay? Because at this point, I'm struggling, but I was always taught that education, the foundation of your child's education, needs to be at a certain level. And that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because it will put you in a place where you do certain things and you really end up hurting your own. You hurt yourself. So my kids were, at the babysitter till 10:30 at night. They're falling asleep at the babysitter. I had a baby on the way. I had so many things happening, and I said, you know what? I need to step back. I need to get my life together. I need to get my family together. My kids were having behavior issues in school. My younger daughter, she was having a hard time, and I wasn't able to be the parent that I should have been because I didn't have time. I was so busy trying to catch myself. A lot of people won't tell you that either. At this point in time, I was really trying to get myself together. So luckily at that point in life, I had another business, which was a weight loss company. And that business was making a good amount of money that I was able to walk away. I was able to walk away from doing hair, but I had to focus on that business 100% to make sure that I could sustain my life. One day in February, because this happened in October the year before, February the following year, we're riding down the street and I see this salon that's in a very nice area. And I said, I'm tired of being at home. I'm always one of those, I'm a true in and outer. I will walk away from something that's not working for me in 5 seconds. I will literally drop it and go. And I said, I'm tired of being at home. I'm tired of sitting around. That was me. I was sitting around, but I was making YouTube videos for my other business. That's how I built that business. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back into the salon. I just said this literally. Riding down the street in February, past this beautiful salon. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go back into the salon. Here's where everything gets interesting, you guys. Here's where life really happens. And this is how I end up opening the salon. So I go into the salon. I had no clients, okay? None whatsoever. When I get there, the conversation is, hey, we so glad to have you. It was a very nice salon, downtown Orlando. We're going to help you as best we can. We're going to help you build as best we can, right? We know you don't have any clients. It's all right. I didn't need help building clientele. One thing I know, come here, baby. Oh, you dressed already? Okay. One thing I know is how to build a clientele based on my skill. Okay, when you guys ready, you come. Okay, one thing I knew how to do was build my clientele. I knew how to really build myself. I didn't need help building my clientele, but this was the conversation and I was okay with it. Within 3 months, I was booked to the point where I had to hire an assistant. It took me 3 months. Hold on, you guys.
Grandma needs you for something.
Okay, so I'm coming. It took me my son. It took me 3 months to build my clientele solid to the point where I had to hire an assistant. And I had at least 10 clients in a day. Okay, literally. Once that started happening, I had a problem in the salon. The conversation became, because we had a meeting one day and I said, hey, instead of us doing some type of advertisement, Let's put that money into revamping the salon. That's all I said. I said, I will give my money towards it. I feel like the salon needs to pick me up for the anniversary. Do you know during this meeting, they turned this entire meeting around on me and said, hold on. You know, the salon would not need a revamp. Put those in the trunk, baby. Okay. The salon would not need a revamp if some people would book accordingly. And we feel, and now here's where it turns on me. And we feel like you should book no more than one client every 2 hours. First of all, I pay booth rent. Second of all, my clients come in with the way I want to book them. That's my choice. Third, how did this meeting turn around on me? I literally said, hey, there's a crack that's been in the window, and one day there was an infestation of termites in the salon, literally everywhere from the crack in the window. They were coming in through the crack of the window. My station is by the crack of the window. My entire station was lit up by termites. I had to stop what I was doing, stop my client, and we had to leave due to the infestation. They had to call a exterminator to come in to get rid of the termites. Then the next day, I had to come and clean up my stuff because of the infestation of termites. Like, you would never believe this. And all I said was, I'll give my money to fix things like this. And it wasn't even my salon. Okay? It wasn't even my salon, but I said that I would give my money towards fixing up the salon for its anniversary. Let's do a paint job. This was me. So during the meeting, it turned around into Bash Crystal. And it literally did, you guys. I can't make this up. They literally said if I was booking a certain way, the salon wouldn't need to pick me up. Baby, that salon been sitting there for 30,000 years with that same Belvedere furniture that's old as old, and it has no value. It has depreciated to Belvedere furniture. Okay? So once this meeting happened, I literally got up. I went outside. I said, God, I know you saw that my heart was so pure. I literally said this in the parking lot. My heart was pure. I came with my money to help build and fix up a salon that was not mine with a straight face. And I literally was bashed during the meeting, even trying to do something good. And it wasn't that I was bashing them. I went with the notion of, guess what? If I'm going to work here, I'll put my money in here, even though I'm paying booth rent to you for my space. I will still put my money towards helping you with this place. That's team player. That's what a team player does. I went outside. I said what I said. I said, God, I would like to go to a space where I have enough space for me. I don't want to pay a high rent. This is literally, I laid it out, you guys. I said, I don't want to pay a high rent. And I didn't say it in a demanding way. I was just talking. I don't want to pay a high rent. I wanted it to be in a very nice place, a nice area. It had good parking, and I didn't have to worry about anything else. I called a salon suite that day. And do you know, they gave me a double room, and I only paid for half the room because I was a single. This was a deal. I'm coming. Go ahead. This was a deal that they gave me. I end up leaving that salon because I left that salon. I gave them a week's notice. I didn't have any bad blood. I don't do bad business. It wasn't nothing. All I said to them was, you know what? It's unfair for me to portray what I want on your business. And I take full responsibility for that. And I appreciate you guys for the opportunity. I'm going to hold you guys for 1 second. I'm coming. What is it, sir?
You're not even reading it.
Why can I not just look at the pages?
This is why you can't read. No, keep looking at the pictures. Go ahead.
Oh, it's just
No,
a
keep
book.
reading. Keep looking at the pictures. That's why
Oh,
you
this
can't
is
read.
not all about
You're
reading.
the Christian. Yes, it is Christian. That's the point of the book. To read the book. Not all books come with pictures. It's called a book, so you can read it.
Well, you don't have to read it.
Okay, then why do you have the book then?
Ways
No, why do you have the
read.
book then, Christian?
There's a
The pictures
different
don't
way
tell
to
everything, you know. Pictures don't tell everything.
All of you guys weren't arguing. All right. I'm back. Sorry. I'm picking up my kids from my mom. You guys said hi?
Hi.
It's time to say school, kids to school day. Anyway, so when I get to this new place, let me tell you, I literally said, I told God what I wanted. I said, God, I want a place where I want a large enough room, but I don't have to pay what the large enough room would be. I also said I wanted it to be in a good area. And I also said that I wanted to be able to maintain a good clientele. I wanted to be able to afford it. I called the salon suite, and the lady literally said, we don't have any single suites available, but we have a double suite, and we'll allow you to use the double suite. What's that? Okay. Thank you, baby. That's for me? Oh, you guys are awesome. And then they said they basically find me a partner for this double room. I said, okay. I had no problem. Hey, boy, put that seatbelt over your chest. Thank you, Jane. Didn't even catch on. No, put it over your the right way. Lean towards Alex. There you go. Oh, you want something to put over your neck? You all right? Where's your backpack? Where's your mask? You don't have one?
Grandma gave me one.
Oh, it's right here. Okay. So when I get to this place, I was really, really excited. I get there. It's a beautiful place. It has the same, hold on, here's the kicker. It has Belvedere furniture. Okay? It has Belvedere furniture. Everything is modern. The colors are beautiful. Okay? And when I get there, literally within 3 days of me being there, 3 people move out. Now, mind you, there's only 2 African Americans in this entire building, myself and a barber. When I get there, did you hear me right? 3 people move out, but I didn't understand why. My wonder was, I noticed that there was a lot of people coming to my door, and they're like, "Oh, you're moving into the double?" And I'm telling them like, yeah, I got a good deal. They're gonna find me a partner, but in the meantime, I'm gonna take up the space. And I noticed that all the stylists kept coming and asking me this question, right? So I didn't catch on. Me and one of the dudes, this white dude who was in like the corner, me and him was sitting there talking, and he's like, "Girl, you coming here has caused a lot of trouble." He was real honest with me. He's like, "You coming here has caused a lot of trouble. Did you notice that such and such, such and such and such and such moved out within a week of you coming?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Because they heard that you got a deal that when they came here, they had to pay for a double room for themselves. And they didn't get that deal, but they gave you that deal." Hold on. I didn't ask for this deal. I didn't beg for this deal. I didn't proposition this deal. I was given this deal. I was literally handed what I asked for. I didn't even give what I wanted. I was handed this deal. And literally 3 people left. So in the midst of the 3 people leaving, the owner tries to come to me and says, "Hey, we need you to take a single room because, you know, we have a single room available." And I'm like, no. I don't want a single room. No. I didn't sign up that way. I signed up this way. And I had caught on that she was trying to do that because she needed to make sure that everybody else was happy. I didn't care about that. I didn't ask you for what you gave me. You gave it to me. You gave it to me. So that's what I'm going to have. They didn't like that. No one spoke to me the entire time I worked there, except for the dude that was across from me. Everybody seemed to have an attitude while I was there. They weren't pleasant. No one was pleasant. Mind you, I told you guys that I'm one of the only 2 African Americans in the entire building. And if there's 20 rooms there, that means that 18 is outnumbered. Okay? And I'm not going to say it's the race card. I'm not going to throw that out there like it's a race card. But I do feel like we were singled out. Because it was like the biggest uproar ever. Based on something that I didn't even ask for. I didn't ask them for. They gave it to me. I asked God for that. Listen, you see, within that 3 days that I was there, I said, okay, I hear you. I know where I'm supposed to be. I know where I'm supposed to be. I know where I'm supposed to be. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start looking for my own salon. I can't do this. I've tried. And everywhere I've gone since I went back to doing hair, I've been deterred to do something else. I said, this is my time. I didn't have any money like that. I actually had about $12,000 in my savings. About $12,000 literally in my savings. And I said, okay, I'm going to find a location, and I want it to be in the same area, and I'm going to open my own salon. I knew nothing about opening a salon. Everybody that I called act like they couldn't tell me how to do this. And I said, you know what? I'm going to figure it out. I found the location. And when I tell you, everything just kind of happened in a way where it was just so simple for me. I don't know why, but I'll tell you, I know why. I'll tell you why towards the end. You'll see why, okay? And they say that everything that comes easy is not good. I'll tell you why at the end. I hire a contractor person from Craigslist because I did not have big contractor money. I financed my furniture, so I didn't have to pay for my furniture out of my pocket. All I had to pay was a down payment of 5% of whatever furniture I wanted, and then they financed the rest. So I didn't pay for any of my furniture. Okay? My $10,000 literally was to secure my location and pay my contractor and pay for any type of materials that I needed. And it worked out in a way where I didn't have to really do much. They literally checked my credit, which it wasn't great. I paid my money to go in, and they wanted first month, last month, and deposit. And I told them straight up, I said, I don't have that. I don't have that. I don't have that amount of money to do that. I don't have that. He said, what can you come up with? I said, I can do first month and deposit. I said, I can do first month and deposit. He said, okay. I got my furniture through different places. I used IKEA as one of my furniture places because I wanted Mongstad mirrors. I wanted, my cabinets were custom kitchen cabinets that nobody knew that I customized and made into a station. Okay. My chairs, I went to the hair show and went through Cosmoprof and got my chairs. My dryers, same thing. My dryers, everything I got, I financed. Okay. At the time, it seemed like a good idea. At the time, it seems like it was a good idea. And I feel like it paved the way for me where I'm at right now. Okay. So when I opened the salon, a lot of people don't know this. When you open a salon, you're supposed to have at least three times your rent every single month in your savings, just in case you don't have anybody renting your chair, just in case you have an emergency, just in case something happens. For 3 months, I was in that salon all by myself. I struggled by myself. Okay? For my grand opening, my AC went out. That was my first expense. At my grand opening, it was 80 degrees inside. My AC literally went out that day. So of that $10,000, my contractor charged me about $3,500 to do all the work. The rest of the money went to materials and me securing the space. Now, I tell people, if you're going to open a salon, don't go in with all your capital. That's one thing that we're not taught. Okay, we're not taught this. You don't use all your capital to open a business. You borrow people's capital. That's what you call good debt. But you do it to the extent of what you can afford. You don't go outrageous. Don't go and rack up $200,000 in debt and call that good debt. And you don't even have $5,000 saved up. That's bad debt. Okay? So the only thing that I financed was my furniture. Outside of that, I had a Home Depot card. I used the Home Depot card to buy stuff for the floor, like the little floorboard materials, whatever. And the rest of it came out of my pocket. And that's how I was able to open my salon with less than $10,000. And I'll teach that to anyone and everyone. Finance anything that you can, but make sure that it's within an affordable mean for you and that deal makes sense. Outside of that, you need to make sure that you have your money for your contractor, and you need to make sure you have your money for your materials, and of course to secure your location. Okay? All right, so let's get into the gist of the salon itself. I opened a 6-chair salon, and my booth rent was $150. Hold on, guys. My booth rent per chair was $650. Now, mind you, there's only 6 chairs, so I took up 1 chair. So that gave me 5 chairs at $150 a week. Can someone calculate what's 5 times 150? And then put it in the chat. Then, when you calculate that 5 times 150, do that amount times 4. That's 4 weeks in a month. So 5 times 150, take that amount and times it by 4 and then put it in the chat. I'm gonna wait. $3K a month. $2,800. $3,000. So 5 times 150 is $750. $750 times 4 is $3,000. Okay, so everybody that said $3,000, you got it. My rent at that salon was almost $2,000. Now, when you do a booth rental salon, in order for you to make any form of profit, I'm lying. My rent at the salon was $1,400. My rent was $1,400. I said that wrong. My rent was $1,400 at the salon. Whenever you do booth rent, you're stationary in the money that you have. So with $3,000 a month, I had to make sure that I could pay the rent. I had to make sure I could pay the lights. I had to make sure I didn't pay water. Water was included in my rent. I had to make sure that I could pay for the internet and if anything broke. I was bringing in no money for the first 3 months. So I was already in a deficit. I was already in a hole because I was at a negative based on a true accounting strategy, a true budget. I was already in the negative because I was paying everything out of my pocket. So if I was making $5,000 for the month, I really was only bringing home $2,000. So eventually a staff started coming. I had a makeup artist. I had 3 stylists and a makeup artist. That's 4. And then I had 1 empty chair. Within a year of me being open, I knew that opening a salon was not my destiny. I was not happy. I was stressed because all the money that I was making, I was working so many hours to only still struggle with my own bills because I'm taking some of my money to pay for my location. And this is another reason why I tell people, if you're going to open a salon, you need to make sure that you have that capital put to the side just in case. You need to make sure that you have a strategy for the slow months, a strategy for when someone's chair is not being used. You have to have a strategy. You have to have a strategy, you guys, a plan. And that I didn't have. And this is when I told you guys earlier on, I said, I'm going to tell you guys when I figured out that everything that comes quick and easy is not good. That salon came to me in the right way. And I'm not going to say it's not good because it opened the door for me and a mindset for me to know where I needed to be. Okay? As fast as I got the salon is as fast as I closed it. And this is not to deter anyone. This is more apart from how I opened it. You can be successful, you guys. So I don't want you to think that it's not going to be successful. I'm just basing it from my story. Okay? My story. If I'm going to open another salon, it will be either a commission-based salon or a salon suite. I will not open another booth rental salon. That concept does not work. That concept does not work. That concept does not work. Anyhow, I woke up one morning and I said, this is not for me. I noticed that everybody had attitudes. There was always a situation. And I'm one of those people where I pull in everybody's energy and then it consumes me. If you don't know yourself, then you need to really have a conversation with yourself to understand yourself. And I said, you know what? This is not working. I'm going to close the salon. I did it just like that. I'm going to close the salon. Now, was I depressed? Absolutely. I was depressed for about 3 weeks. I cried so many tears because I had worked so hard for something that seemed to just be going down the drain. And I could have stuck it out. I could have kept going. I could have kept pushing. But how long are you going to continue holding on to something that's not yours, that's not for you, that you know you're not destined for? So I ended up finding a space that was a single space, but it was a salon. It was me by myself. And I feel like if I had found this space before I opened the big salon, I would have been so much happier. I opened this new space up the street. I'm by myself. It was about 600 square feet. I had a reception area. I had my own bathroom. I had my front door. I had my own back door. It was an amazing location. It had parking. It was in a prime location. And my rent was only $800. My rent was only $800. I literally did have to get my shampoo bowl installed. It was an as-is location, so I had to get my walls painted. I had to get my furniture installed. I had to do all of this. But here's where the trouble comes once again. Wow, you guys, I've had such a journey. It's crazy. Here's where the struggle came once again. I moved into that salon in October. I closed my salon in October, moved into that salon in October, to only find out in December that the owner sold the plaza and a condo builder was going to demolish it. I'll never forget that day that I found this out. And I'm sitting there like a deer in the headlights. Mind you, I just moved in October, and I find out in December that the location is being sold and demolished, and we'd all need to probably be out within the mid-year. After I had just invested about $5,000 into fixing this place and getting it ready for myself, because it needed certain things. There was no plumbing. I had to get the plumbing done. I had to get all of this money came out of my pocket. And correction, it wasn't about $5,000. It was about $2,000 and say $3,000. It was about $3,000 that I invested in this spot. I had to get furniture there. I did take some of my furniture from the old salon. I kept my dryers, that kind of thing. But I had to get a lot of other things done for this place to get ready. I had to do this to get the place ready. To only find out at the end of the day that they had sold the space. He knew he was selling the space and didn't say a word to me when I signed my lease. If people were to really be in my shoes when a lot of this was going on, you would understand why I was in such a funk for so long. And I tried to smile. I smiled as much as I could. I even tried to release a product line during this time, and it was the one product line that I released that it wasn't successful. I tried so many things. I spent so much money on this location because I was so in love with it. I knew that this location was definitely for me. I was so in love with that location. So I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm no longer going to build out anybody's space. I'm not going to open another space. I'm going to just go and work on myself. Mind you, in the midst of this, I ended up filing bankruptcy. A lot was happening. I ended up filing bankruptcy. So when I got into the other salon space, a lot of other things were happening within my personal life. It was always something happening. That's life. It was always something happening in the midst of something happening. So I go to move out of my space because I had already found out that the man had sold it. I had already found out that it was going to be demolished. So I called somebody to come and help me move my stuff. And I said, well, I'm going to move out. Jay was like, I should move out on a Sunday when nobody's there. And I'm telling him, no, everything's good. I can move out. I can move out when I'm ready. Not listening. So I go to move out on a Thursday. I think it was a Thursday. They closed the deal on like a Tuesday because I knew from the people in the plaza, you know, they like to tell everything. I was moving out that Thursday. Actually, it was a Monday. It was a Monday. I was moving out that Monday. And I had the guy moving my stuff. And he calls me and says, hey, there's a guy here telling me that I'm trespassing. And he's about to call the police on me because I'm trespassing and stealing stuff out of his place. I said, what? I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. He's like, oh, okay. So when I get over there, it's the owner who just it's the owner who literally wanted me to pay rent to him. And he was trying to swindle rent out of me. I'll never forget this. That's why I gotta laugh, because there was so much that happened this day. He was trying to swindle me for $800 more. Mind you, you had just gotten paid over $1 million for this property. And he was trying to swindle me for over $800. And then when I opened the door, I noticed that half my stuff is gone. He literally had some crackhead guy come in there and was taking some of my stuff. That's why he didn't want me to enter my own space. My rug was gone. My ladder was gone. Then you threatened to call the police on the guy that was taking out my stuff. So guess what? I called the police on him. When the police come, they're like, they're already looking at me like, are you serious? I can't make it up. I can't. Oh my gosh. The man was stealing my stuff and wanted me to pay him rent for a property that he no longer owned. For a property that he no longer owned. Like, could you be any more wicked? To the point where I ended up having to, I cussed that man out so bad. I cussed him out so decent. And then I called the police. And the police themselves were standing there like, we're going to wait till he comes because we just want to make sure everything's okay. Do you know he never came back? The owner left and never came back. Because he knew what he was doing was wrong. Furthermore, I wasn't going to pay you anything. You don't own this property. What would I be paying you for a property that you're about to get demolished and you got paid for 2 days ago? You got over $1 million and you want to take $800 from me? How hard up for money could you be after just receiving $1 million plus? That million wasn't even the amount. It was way more than $1 million that you got. He thought he could scam me. So by this point, I took all the furniture that was left. I didn't even make a fuss, you guys, because I was just so over it. I was over moving. I was over putting out so much money. I was over it. I was over it. So I put everything in my garage at home and I went into a salon suite in Altamont, closer to home. And once again, I had to rebuild again. A lot of my clients came with me, but a lot of them couldn't make it all the way to Altamont. So it was like, okay, well, I have to do what I have to do for me. Anyhow, in the midst of this, I'm going through bankruptcy. And it was just like, it was just like so many different downfalls. It was so much going on. So many different things happening at this phase. And I couldn't focus. I could not focus. Everything was happening. Everything that you could think of was happening at this time. So when I got into the new salon suite, a lot of you that have been watching me since I released my first product, which was the Goddess Hair Repair Serum, I released that on 4/20 2 years ago. 4/20 2 years ago. At that time, I think I released my product on 4/20. And because of the bankruptcy, they repoed my car 2 weeks later. As a part of the bankruptcy, they repoed it. I'm at work and all I hear is beep, beep, beep. I'm so happy that I released my product. I was so excited. And all I hear is, girl, somebody's backed up with your car. Mind you, this was the last piece of my Elite Salon business. The car was wrapped with Elite Salon on it. It had polka dots on it. My kids hated the car. They couldn't stand that car, but I'm going to get another one.
No.
You hear them? They said the car was so embarrassing because during the holidays, I would decorate the car. But it was the last piece to the Elite Salon. But I still was in a depression because that was my only car. I released my product. And here comes the repo truck taking my car away. I cried and I cried. Boy, you just don't know how many tears I've cried in this amount of time. Building what I didn't know yet was a full-on empire. They repoed my car. I released my Goddess Hair Repair Serum. I had filed bankruptcy. So I knew that I couldn't get anything. Right? Your son can't focus. I knew I couldn't get anything else. I was in such a funk. It's just like everything was happening all at one time. So I was talking to my friend on the phone and I was just already like, I wasn't excited about my product being released. I couldn't really be excited. But I said to myself, I said, you know what? I am going to do absolutely everything that I possibly can to make this product successful. Because I had nothing else. I had no more drive. I had no car to drive. Okay? My little Kia, my Kia Soul, my baby, they took it away. And I knew that they were going to take it away. I just didn't expect them to take it away in that manner. You know how embarrassing that was? My assistant's like, girl, there's a tow truck with your car on it. Do y'all know how that feels? If you've ever had a car, regardless if it was bankruptcy or not, repoed, that is the loneliest feeling on this planet. It's not time, son. That is the loneliest feeling on this planet. So, crazy part is, here's where the upside of the story comes. This is where the good side starts. While I'm in the salon suite there, I start doing YouTube videos. This is how a lot of you have discovered me. This is how a lot of you have met me. This is how a lot of you started following me. And when I started doing these YouTube videos, I didn't have the thought process that I would ever go viral. I didn't have the thought process that people would actually want my product and actually know that my product worked. I just know that I worked very hard on that product. I even made a skit, a very embarrassing skit to me, but I made a skit to promote my product. And literally one day I'm standing in the salon, and a video that I had uploaded from the same place that the man was trying to collect the $800 from me for something that he had sold for over $1 million anyway. That video went viral. It was the lowest quality video I've ever done in my life. It had the lowest quality. My client's talking in the background. I'm talking. But that video ended up going viral based on a haircut that I did. And all the video said was how to fix damaged hair. That video began my YouTube career. Stop it. That day standing in the salon, after that, every single video that I uploaded, I started doing lives. I was back to back. I said, you know what? I don't have nothing but time now. I don't have a car and I have nothing but time. That day, after that day, every single video that I uploaded had at least 50,000 views or better within 3 days. I can't make this up. Every single video that I uploaded went viral from that moment. And it started from a video in that place where they were trying to take my money, where they tried to steal my stuff, where I was swindled into the deal, signing a 2-year lease for a space that you know you were selling by January. And it was only 4 months. That video right there began the birth of Elite Hair Care USA product line. It literally streamlined everything. I ended up dropping the Goddess Hair Repair Serum, falling into a repo from my bankruptcy, leaving that salon to go into a salon suite that I said I would never go back into, and I still ended up back into one. Okay? I don't know why my eyes shouldn't. I think it's the thing. And I said, you know what? Maybe a lot of this happened because at the end of the day, I had already gone through so much heartache. My eyes shimmer. I knew that day 100% what was going on. I said, man, all the heartache that I went through, all the struggle that I went through, and my time came. My time came. And it's still here. What time is it? Absolutely. Absolutely. So since then, I'm still in a salon suite. I'm not going to go to another salon. I'm not going to build out another space. I refuse. I refuse. I said the next thing that I do will be a salon suite of some nature, real estate. I don't want to open another salon. I don't want to build out anyone else's space unless it's a space that I'm going to build out for other business people. Ruth, you say I'm a very strong woman, but you'll be so surprised how weak how weak I felt at that point. Man, when I really sit back and I think about it, I'm just like, wow, I've come such a long way. And I still have a long way to go. But I hope this story time really touches someone else that might be going through so much heartache at one point in life. Trust me. Amen. I'm still standing. Absolutely. All right, you guys. Well, I hope everybody has an amazing Monday. You guys can say bye.
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 Yeah. I hope everybody has an amazing Monday. I hope everybody who's looking to open a salon, you guys just do your research before you do certain things. And I'm not saying that opening a salon didn't pave the way. Every problem that I've had thus far, every trial that I've had thus far has opened my mind to understanding life. And that you have literally no control. You have no control. But it's how you handle each situation as you go along. And I know this storm might seem like a thunderstorm right now. Okay? It might seem like a thunderstorm. But best believe those clouds have to clear. Those clouds have to clear. And if I honestly tell you guys how bad I spoke about that bankruptcy, I'll do another story time about the bankruptcy, because the bankruptcy really taught me a lot. The bankruptcy has taught me a lot. Do y'all know I have better credit now after filing bankruptcy than I had before filing bankruptcy? But I'll teach y'all that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. I have so much credit now, it's ridiculous. I'm getting approved for all kind of credit right now. And I filed bankruptcy. And before I filed bankruptcy, I couldn't get approved for nothing. You hear me? Nothing. I couldn't even get a buy here, pay here car loan. Whew. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do that video. I'm going to do that video. All right, you guys. I got some videos to upload. So I hope everybody has an amazing day. Oh, before everybody goes, don't go yet. Before you go, just a heads up, Atlanta has one appointment left. Someone canceled. So Atlanta has one appointment left. Boston has replaced Chicago. So Boston is now able to be booked. New York is booked up. And then I still have Houston on the calendar, but I might change that. LA is open and Philly is open. So for those of you that are in Atlanta, there's only one appointment left for Atlanta though. There's only one appointment. And then Boston has now taken the place for Chicago. So I will be accepting appointments for Boston. All right. See you guys later. And thanks for watching my story time.